Hello, everyone. This is Private Universe, and today we have a very special guest. We can't say his name, but it's going to be a few episodes of ups and downs of life, adventure, philosophy, psychology, some reality, some fantasy. Anyway, can't really give you much more information, so here we go. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for catching up and our formal farewell before I move on to the next adventure.
Yes. You're going up to somewhere up north soon.
I am, to start a new existence with a new identity so I can re-engineer myself and establish who it is that I am after all the years of not really identifying exactly clearly who I am, because I used to portray different people in different environments, and I think this will be a great opportunity for me to find out who I really am after all. So I no longer have to wear a mask. However, the irony of the whole thing is that I will be making the change with a new identity that I'm creating, that I believe to be who I truly am. So you've known me for eternity. We are given three things in life: our name, our nationality, our religion, if we have one. And we basically become that. We adopt it, we live it, we defend it, but we really truly lose ourselves as a result of what we inherit. And I have lived that, and then I realized, well, hang on a minute, who am I? And I'm learning who I am, and I've given myself a new name, and the identity is, I think, truly who I truly am, in a location that I truly believe that I belong in, doing things that I enjoy, truly, immensely, passionately. So it's a strange opportunity that not many people have the chance to do, because, you know, once you get married and you have children and you have a job and you live the 9-to-5 existence and you go and have to suck up to your bosses to get a pay rise and you lose yourself. Well, I've been given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to say, let's find out who you are. And I'm going to embrace that and take it and run with it. It's only 6 months, but I think that in 6 months I can unveil who I think I am. And once I come out of that, I'll emerge pure. I will speak my mind as I will know who I am. And that in itself is going to be a journey. Raw. Raw.
Incredible. Sounds very enticing, but also probably scary for most people.
Well, I don't know whether it's scary or not, but I think we're entitled to learn who we are, without the theatrics, without the masks, without, you know, it's very simple. For example, when you speak to a truck driver, you're going to say, "G'day, how you going?" Blah blah blah. When you speak to the CEO or director of a company, it's more formal. Somewhere in the middle of that, that's who we are. But we don't get the opportunity to say, well, how do I speak for real? Why don't I just say "G'day, how you going" to everybody? I mean, that's the language that's who I am. So who am I is the biggest question. I asked that question a long time ago. As you know, I've explored what that possibly might mean. I've never really had the answer. I've written many short screenplays and short stories and things, and it makes a lot of sense to other people. But to truly embrace it, you need to really rip off the Band-Aid and say, right, this is me, raw. Amongst people that don't know me, I don't need to pretend. You know, I don't really know who I'm going to emerge as, or, you know, it's a learning experience, and I'm looking forward to it. And you know, I'm going to be meeting many people from many walks of life in this new environment, at this new location, which is quite, and you know where it is. So basically it's a tropical island. It's inhabited by wealthy individuals and tourists and all the rest of it. I'm very fortunate to be given this opportunity. In most cases, I guess, if people were given this opportunity, they'd simply see it as a holiday. But I'm seeing more of it as an immersive experience, a psychological exploration of, and get rid of all the garbage that I've carried for my life, for 55 years or so, and rip away and say, right, you know what, let's get rid of the garbage and just come out with whatever it is. And I think that will be, I can't wait to find out what happens. I can't wait to find it. But I do know that the name that I created for myself absolutely fits me. If you were given the opportunity to pick your own name.
Yeah, interesting.
So that's where I started. So let's pick my name, which I did. Took me a little while. And I've given you that. I've told you what that name is.
Yep.
I created a new identity formally for myself because of my career I know how to create. If ever you need a new passport, you can call me and I'll get one for you. But so I'm applying all the skills that I've learned, but I'm not applying them in the sense that I used to use them before as tools to become somebody else. I'm now using them to become me. And that is a very profound, immensely profound, rewarding experience, I believe, I hope.
Wow. So that sounds interesting. Creating your name would change your personality, you think?
It has already, because so if I were to, I know me, I believe I know me, and I thought, well, you know what? What is my name? If it were not given to me, what would I call me? And it's a clean slate. It's a brand new product. It's, people that are creative. I'm not creating me now. This is the reverse of being created. I have already created who I have presented to the world. I'm now ripping away all the things that I've created for myself over 55 years. So I had to start somewhere, and the where I began is, well, let's begin with a name. So let's now, the one thing that I obviously cannot change is my age. But from its purest form, this is where we begin, brand new. This person doesn't exist as far as I'm aware, and we are just, I'm not going to invent anything. The conversations that I will have, I will be more receptive and listening to people's opinions as opposed to presenting, projecting what I want them and manipulating them. I'm not going to manipulate anybody.
Right.
I'm just going to listen, observe, and learn what my true reactions are. I'm going to be more silent, because my job in the past used to be, and you know my past, and so, for example, I used to make good people do bad things, right? And that requires an ability to morph into whatever makes me appealing to them so that I could navigate their point of view, right? So that requires a lot of training and skill and experience and all that stuff. But you lose yourself in that. We all wear masks. And after a while, you think to yourself, well, am I any of these people? Am I really anyone? It's kind of, if you think about it, it's quite sad, because we all do it. We all wear masks.
Yep.
And I think that's part of depression in some cases, that we're sad that we don't know who we are. Did we really choose the career that we wanted? Or in some cases, some people would become doctors because their parents forced them into it, but they hate the job. They hate that career. But it's eternal, it's life, and that's how they're going to die. They're going to be known as Dr. So-and-so. Fortunately, I was not given that kind of pressure, but I ended up in a situation where I truly had to, in my career, I'm not an actor, but I'm pretty sure that I could have been given an Oscar for many of the roles that I had to play in the tasks that I had. Now I'm retired. I'm young enough to be able to take this opportunity, and it's an experiment. It's an experiment, and I will have to fight my own urges to create myself.
Right.
And that in itself is going to be challenging. Don't answer a question in order to appeal to someone. Piss them off if you have to. Just accept me for who I am. If I believe something, everyone's entitled to believe whatever they want to believe. But first I need to know what I believe.
Right.
You know, I speak a few languages and I've traveled many countries, and I can pretend to be that I'm from this country, or I can pretend to be from another country, but it gets quite confusing, and I'm over that. So this is it. This is the new beginning. I have no idea what I would call it, but it starts with a name.
Right. And just on that, do you think you are finding your true self, that there's an essence to us all, you, I, anyone else, or are you going to create something from zero, from tabula rasa, as they say, from clean slate, the person that you want to be?
I think I'm hoping it's a rebirth where it's so clean slate that I will have to question in the very beginning that I will have to question. It's going to be the urges to say, this is what I believe. I'm going to have to question that a lot. So to answer your question, I hope I have no influence. I don't want to influence how I dress, how I talk, what my appearance would be. I'm not going to dye my hair or wear suits because the environment in which I work requires it. If I want to be barefoot, that is what I will do. If I want to wear a suit and tie, because that's where I feel most natural and comfortable in, even if I have to go to a beach wearing a suit, if that's who I am, that's who I am. And you're going to just have to accept me for who I am. And I will not care if I'm criticized, because this is who I am. And, you know, there are people that from all walks of life that have to, you know, let's say, for example, I've got friends that are gay, lesbian, whatever they might be. Now they have to morph themselves to appeal to other people. And that is horrible. It's sad that they have to do that. I'm just taking it to a different level. I don't fall under their category, but I think if the universe, if everybody were given the opportunity, let's find out. Because life makes you who you are. Life throws things at you. No, that's not true. That's not totally true. That's not totally correct. Your environment, you adapt to your environment. Right? So if you're in a corporate environment, you're going to wear a tie. Right. Pretty much. And you're going to speak in a particular way, and you're going to make decisions in a particular way. But it depends on your environment. And so I've selected an environment that is kind of neutral, that won't influence who I am. I have an immense amount of freedom now. I can get up in the morning, and if I want to eat something, that is what I will eat. I will eat. You know, people have breakfast because we're told that breakfast comes in the morning. That's right. And there's lunchtime and there's dinner. Well, you know, some people, I might eat dessert before I eat my dinner. I mean, just rearrange the whole thing to appease yourself. I would love to go to a restaurant and say, hey, listen, can I have a tiramisu? Also, but you haven't had your main meal. Yeah, that's right. But that's what I feel like. Bring me a tiramisu, and then I will have a salad. And then after that, I will have a garlic bread. And then I might have pasta. Nice. But I feel like tiramisu right now. Well, you know, that might fuck them up. But that's their problem, not mine. So why are you wearing pajamas in this restaurant? Well, because that's what I wanted to wear today. And you know what? Picasso, Van Gogh, all those guys, the true essence of the most creative people, which you know I'm I can be, well, I am creative. I can be really creative if I'm allowed to be. But I feel like I've been imprisoned, limited, and the full extent of my capabilities have never been explored. I need to take this time to find out how far can I push it? How far can I take it? Am I as creative as I believe myself to be, or will I blow my mind completely and become an extreme version of something? I want to see how far I can push this.
Wow.
Limitless. This will make me limitless.
Wow.
Answer to nobody. And for 6 months, that will be quite healing.
And what's going to happen after 6 months, do you think?
Well, that's a good question. But I think 6 months at a time. I used to live I used to have a life where it was one day at a time. Every day was important, but one day at a time. That's not enough because you rearrange yourself every day in a 24-hour period. It's easy to adjust to whatever environment it is. Well, I'm in this scenario, I'm going to have to look, sound, and be this. But now it's like, I don't need to be anything. So what am I? What do I believe? Am I faithful? Am I faithful as in, do I have a faith?
Right.
That's actually a quite weird Freudian slip, I guess, to some degree.
Right.
Am I faithful? Do I have a faith? The general public will think, well, am I faithful? Well, and their concept of faithfulness is to another individual.
That's right.
But am I faithful to, what am I faithful to?
Well, it's interesting because faithless and faithful, even though they're contradictory, they might have different interpretations.
I might be faithless completely. I am, as far as I'm aware, an atheist.
Right.
I believe that will continue to be the case.
Well, faith, when we talk about faith as a word, most people would immediately relate it to a religious type attachment. But can one have faith in other things apart from
we have
the
to have
supernatural?
faith. We have to have faith in, and we have to be adamant that we are faithful to whatever we believe in. Unfortunately, and the world is in chaos right now because individuals have been told and have been convinced to have a particular faith. The United States, for example, politically, we're discussing it, but Democrats are faithful to their politics.
Right.
So are Republicans. The truth is that they've forgotten that they are purely Americans. And we discussed this before, that if you just forget what you've been told to be and are reminded as to what you are, which you've forgotten to be an American. I have friends that are American. They've forgotten to be Americans. They've chosen one party over another, and we are in complete chaos as a result. The truth is, if you were just true to yourself and just said, you know what's moral and what's right, what I truly believe to be moral and right, just follow that. Don't worry about what color, whether it's red or blue. Just be you. And you know what? Those parties are going to have to conform to what the majority feels. And if the majority feels themselves, I want morals. I know that I'm a moral person. So give me a party that is moral. I don't want to conform to what you're serving me.
Right.
I don't want what's on on the menu.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't want what's on the menu.
You don't want a pre-packaged ideology?
No.
You pick one or this one.
Yeah.
You want to know what,
go
with what you feel.
We're far more complicated creatures than that. We're
But
not
you
black
think
and
other
white.
people are like that? Do people find it comforting having a pre-packaged ideology, religion, way of thinking? Do you think that's easier?
Horrible, but sadly that's the case. It is sad. It is sad that we have eroded ourselves to the point where we've surrendered to becoming and supporting products. We become the product that we've been sold.
Right.
I'm not, and you know that I've got many friends on both sides of everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I find. I think after a while you think, you know what, this is just a lot, it's crap. we're not that basic. We're not black and white. We're grey.
Right. Okay.
But what is grey? I want to know what shade of grey I am. I don't believe I'm either black or white. We're far more intelligent, far more interesting. I prefer to be surrounded by individuals that don't fit in any, don't conform to any. And that is the greatest artist. I know that you follow some incredible artists. You quote some incredible historians. And the greatest people in our history are the ones that stand firm as themselves. And they're the ones that change the world because they influence. Now, we all have the ability to decide for ourselves as to who is going to influence us.
Right. Yeah.
But if we're only given an option A or B, that's limiting us. And we become stupid as a society. Now, I wish everyone had the opportunity to do what I'm about to do. In itself, it's an experiment because I'm not naturally inclined to think within myself. I've been programmed as a result of circumstance to adapt. And adapting is okay. We need to adapt. I get that. But adapt under your own terms.
Interesting.
Just don't hurt anybody in the process of being you. But I'm sure people will find you. For anyone that's listening, just be you. And I've always said this, be you. You have always been you. And as a result of you being you, it makes you different. So you're an author, you're a musician, you do podcasts, you're a psychologist, you are purely you. And I've never known you to conform to anybody. That in itself is something to praise. Not everybody does it. And that gives you the comfort, I assume, at night when you put your head on your pillow and say, I did it my way. As Sinatra would have said, you did it your way. Everyone should strive for that. It would cause chaos because you imagine, let's say, for example, you've got a job that you do 9 to 5 and your boss sucks. He or she is an asshole.
Yep.
But you don't want to lose your job. So you suck lemons and it's horrible. You go to bed at night thinking that was a shit day.
We've all done it at one stage.
Well, there has to be a moment in time that you say, you know what, that's enough. I'm not doing it. And you go to that guy or girl and say, you know what, you can, and I'll say, you go fuck yourself. This is not who I am. I don't need to accept this crap.
Right.
And if you get fired, you know what, you're on a new journey. I've been homeless.
Sure.
I've experienced things accidentally that has given me a better understanding. Now, we all see people that are homeless. We read about them and all the rest of it. But none of us have actually been homeless. I've been homeless. On the other hand, I've also traveled on corporate jets, stayed in the best hotels, was paid ridiculous amounts of money to do the jobs that I was tailored to become and to do well. But that's only because in my particular case, I could mimic certain things. But now it's time to say, you know what, I'm not mimicking anybody or anything. It's just raw. I might become a slob. I might put on 60 kilos. Who knows? I don't know. But at least I know the name that slob will have. Right. I chose that name. I chose to become a slob because that's where I'm comfortable. I might just wear pajamas and spend all my time on Facebook. I doubt that, but I'm sure I will read the books that I want to read, not the books that I have to read.